Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome here finally to my videos. Like I said earlier, with my NFL show earlier this week, that I had an issue with StreamYard, not their fault, but more YouTube side of things. The new compliance thing that you have to do, and I did, and then it still has that blue message above there even now, even though I'm allowed back to create videos with StreamYard or on YouTube at all. Um, but either way, that is what it is. So let's talk about Riverdale before I ramble about something else. Another subject that really doesn't have to do with this right now. But I do want to share because it does have to do with, well, YouTube and my channel, which is also a reason why I'm not doing these, or well, I'm not able to do these 3 videos until right now. Now until before midnight, even though I don't have to do it by the end of the week, Sunday by midnight, but my own deadline. Point is, here we go. Find my notes here for episode 6 of season 4. If I can, come on now. Yep, Riverdale, season 4, episode 6 here, recap. Let's roll. We're 6 episodes into the 4th season of Riverdale, and usually the season arc has become clear by now, but that hasn't been the case for this season. Last week's messy installment episode, or stalling episode, and the installment that was the episode, made me realize that this season doesn't have any good mystery pushing it forward. It tries to make up for that with the flash forward to Jughead's disappearance / death, but those scenes feel so disconnected to what's going on. I feel like I really don't care about them yet. I'm sure I will in due time. What consistent stories there are just aren't as interesting as serial killers or RPG-based murder cults. Take Archie's community center. It started as an argument between Archie and his mom. Alright, sorry, something what's going on with the game. Now it's turf war between Archie and Dodger, the local gang leader who recruits poor kids out of the arcade he runs. Now, maybe the previous 3 seasons have spoiled or disorganized me, but the story doesn't feel as silly or outrageous as it should be. Maybe it's because it revolves around Archie, the least interesting character in his own comic. Really, though, Dodger isn't compelling as a villain, and this episode opens by explaining who is, or who he is, and how he recruits kids. Because the show realized it had introduced this character or conflict yet, despite acting as though we should care about them for really 3 episodes now. Sorry, taking us up for the game. Who that? Double team, that W team. Gone along. But it does make a good case for that now, or does it? I don't know. But who knows? But at least we know who the guy is at the end of this. The way it's handled is just weird, though, to me personally. The opening of the episode shows some of the good Archie does. He offers kids a second chance rather than Chubby. He helps them find jobs and give them a safe place to hang out. Dodger's response is to vandalize the community center once and then provide free pizza to his arcade. Archie and Veronica then offer free food pops And somehow, I don't think it's a great long-term strategy, but it does draw Dodger out, though, who immediately sees that Archie's the guy who's been stopping crimes while wearing a black mask. I mean, because of his eyes and stature. Dodger retaliates by shooting up Archie's house, which the cops can't do anything about for whatever reason, I guess. And Archie tries to go to Hiram Lodges and get help, which, hello, nice try. Because he refuses, because Archie blew up his offer of a blank check earlier. And for another week, this story trucks along and doesn't really go anywhere. I mean, sure, Archie's battle with Dodger has escalated, but the nature of their conflict is the same. It's just so much more boring of a story that I'm used to, and that I'm used to Riverdale delivery, because they're better than that. Sexy girls they have is a beginning. Veronica's family drama isn't much better though, and though she and Hermione are both firm at first about not letting Harry back into their lives, it doesn't last long. He seduces Hermione and moves back in. Well, this is better. Okay. The rest of Veronica's scenes this episode involve her newfound half sister trying to force the new family dynamic into place. Hermione and Hiram are renewing their marriage vows, and Rosa tries to get Veronica to come. Veronica refuses when she sees Hermosa asserting more power over their home. Just riveting stuff, isn't it? But it is what it is. I do find it somewhat interesting. But remember when the family was into mob stuff, what happened to that? But I still say somewhat interesting, especially when you see Veronica. Especially that actress, right? She's like Lily Reinhardt. Like she's done it together. I'll give the episode credit. The other stories at least went somewhere interesting, even if Betty's story took a while to get there. Her investigation into Charles meddling things around and only ends up hinting at a larger story to come later. But that's way more than Archie's and Veronica's stories did. Betty asks her brother Chip and Charles about Charles, and he tells the story from when they lived together. He and Charles were high on Jingle Jangle, and Charles stabbed the guy with a pair of scissors. Betty confronts him about it. He denies it under polygraph test. His story says Chip is responsible for the murder. It only starts getting interesting at the end. Charles shows up in Betty's house claiming that Chip called the cops about the black guy Alice murdered a couple seasons ago. He gives details about the body and evidence. That's all still in the cave where FP helps hit him. Fortunately, with both the sheriff and the lead FBI agent on Betty and Alice's side, they can go out and cover it up better. Corruption is okay sometimes, I guess. Only it turns out that Betty was right to be suspicious of Charles. The next time we see him, he's the one talking to Chip. It seems he and Chip are lovers. This is all a ploy to find out where the body is hidden. What they plan to do with the information, I don't know, but at least curious though to see. It was a better place than the show left me last week. The problem with these stories is that they haven't lived up to what I've come to expect from Riverdale. The show has always been a soap opera, but these storylines feel they belong on daytime TV. There's nothing particularly wild or bombastic yet, and at this point it's time for the season to start escalating. Fortunately, Cheryl's story still feels like old Riverdale with its evil family murder or family members and supernatural dolls. Her story feels so isolated from everyone else's, though. The doll that may or not be possessed by the ghost of her dead triplet keeps causing trouble. It's appearing in places where it's not meant to be. It's endangering the two young twins. Oh yeah, I forgot about what was it? Those two characters, the lesbian couple there. They're pretty cute. Together and just individually. But things get worse when Cheryl's aunt and uncle arrive. They want her to sell the house as the Blossom business isn't doing so well. When she refuses, they threaten to have her declared incapable so they can seize her. Later, Cheryl finds her uncle in the chapel. He discovers Jason's corpse down there and says he's going to turn her into the authorities. He tries to restrain her and Tony hits him from behind with the fireplace poker. Is he dead? Well, that's unclear, but I would assume so. Who knows? Maybe not. Just unconscious. We do know that he hasn't been since. I really hope this goes somewhere next week. It's only the story that has the more has me completely 100% hooked here, and just Tony just really needs more to do here. It's ridiculous that she just takes all this in stride, and she seems to have lost her personality almost entirely. But this is the storyline that feels the most classic Riverdale fun. And for this season, I'll take what I can get in that regard. Now, Jughead does eventually get there, though like Betty's story, it takes the entire episode. Facing a writer's block, Jughead starts analyzing the early Baxter Brothers books. He notices that the writing in the first book is too different from the writing in the next four. They couldn't possibly be written by the same person. He guesses that his grandfather actually wrote the first book and confirms it by finding an earlier story that used the same characters and plot. Francis reports pressurized Jughead's grandfather. Jughead confronts DuPont, who yells and threatens him, making it super obvious Jughead's right. At this point, it's just a plagiarism scandal, nothing special. This wouldn't be out of place in any other teen drama. It starts to get more Riverdale when Jughead brings it to his teacher, Mr. Chipping. Chipping immediately sees the plagiarism and promises to do something about it. In the next lesson, though, he can't even get through one sentence about Heart of Darkness. He starts to say something about a man losing his moral compass before apologizing to Jughead for not being able to help. Then he throws himself out the window. So, alright. But it took the entire episode, but now I'm in. Especially when it's revealed that DuPont will be taking over teaching the center. It's unclear whether this will somehow lead to Jughead's apparent spring break murder, but who cares and who knows? It's intriguing and interesting. A teacher jumped through glass while so there we go. Way to go, Idaho. And that is for Riverdale. Great episode. Really enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you have any questions or quizzes, follow me on Twitter at army_strong_06. I hope to hear from you all soon. Sorry about this video being very late, but anyways, above all else, as always, wait, hold on. Just want to say at WTM29, all that other stuff, find me there. And above all else, as always, take care.